Marvel never fails to marvel until it does, as suggests recent history. We're talking about the slow and steady downward spiral of Marvel's popularity after 2019's ultimate blockbuster, Avengers Endgame. The MCU, known for being relentless with its productions, has already set Phase 5 in motion, with its February release Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and carried on with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. With the MCU all geared up to release an impressive slew of movies and shows this year and next, a few questions pop up in mind. Will Marvel reclaim its past glory that's so synonymous with its legacy? In this video, we will hold your hands through every Marvel movie and TV series releasing in 2023 and 2024. As bonus, we will also breeze through two much anticipated reboots slated for 2025. You can thank us later, but first, let's begin with this marvelous journey into the future. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
Stand between this world and utter destruction. Only one way to find out.
Loki Season 2, October 6, 2023. Fans of the God of Mischief, clear your calendars for October 6th because that's when Loki Season 2 starts streaming on Disney+. Tom Hiddleston, best known as Loki in the MCU, returns with the second season of the standalone series set after the happenings of Avengers Endgame. The storyline, spanning 6 episodes, tracks the aftermath of the first season's climatic event when Sylvie, an alternate version of Loki from the multiverse, kills He Who Remains, the founder of the Time Variance Authority. Without a protector of the timeline, hell is unleashed across the multiverse, prompting Loki to glitch back between the past and the present. Owen Wilson returns as Loki's friend and TVA agent Mobius M. Mobius, who wants to fix the time-slipping Loki. Enter new cast member Ke Huy Quan as Ouroboros, or OB, a TVA employee who works in the repairs department. Loki and Mobius seek his help to navigate the multiverse and restore order to the disturbed timeline. Loki prophesizes that the world is heading toward mass destruction and that a war is inevitable unless they track down Victor Timely, a variation of He Who Remains. Jonathan Majors makes a comeback in this season as Victor Timely. The character made a teasing appearance in the post-credit scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, making Loki gasp in fear. No wonder everyone is looking forward to this project.
Faster.
The Marvels, November 10, 2023. The Marvels, arriving in cinemas on November 10th this year, marks the third milestone in MCU's Phase 5. The movie brings together Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson, her mega fan Kamala Khan of Miss Marvel, played by Iman Vellani, and a grown-up Monica Rambeau, portrayed by Teyonah Parris, who first appeared in the Disney Plus show WandaVision. Remember the forever enthusiastic of a daughter of Carol Danvers' friend Maria Rambeau from Captain Marvel? That's her. Plot of the movie somewhat looks like this. In a surprising turn of events, Carol, Kamala, and Monica discovered that they are suddenly connected to each other's powers, switching places every time they use them. That they must team up and figure out a way to make it work without looking like bumbling fools, because an interplanetary attack is imminent. The trio is up against a baddie named Dar-Benn, a Kree Empire warrior who is on a mission to destroy planets across the galaxy. Zawe Ashton plays the menacing, power-hungry villain, a role for which she sought help from another Marvel antagonist, Loki, aka Tom Hiddleston, her real-life fiancé. Her personal vendetta is the obliteration of Captain Marvel herself, who she holds a grudge against for taking everything from her. Samuel L. Jackson's cheeky Nick Fury makes a comeback, and so does his favorite Flerken, an alien cat lookalike named Goose. And this time, Goose has got friends. Expect lots of intergalactic action and dollops of humor from this Phase 5 movie. The Marvels will be preceded into theaters by Dune Part 2 by just a week. Dune 2 is said to have claimed the most number of IMAX screens for the release, leaving the Marvels at the mercy of the smaller screens, which quite obviously didn't go down too well with MCU fans. Will the Marvels live up to the expectations? Let's wait and watch.
The angry later, be smart now. We need
Echo, November 29, 2023. In Marvel's upcoming crime series Echo, Alaqua Cox reprises her role as Maya Lopez, or the titular Echo, who was introduced to the MCU universe in Hawkeye. Echo, who is hearing impaired, is not known to have supernatural powers, is equipped with abilities that are quite interesting for a Marvel character. She has photographic reflexes and can duplicate anyone and everyone's movements, therefore constantly evolving as a fighter. Rumors suggest that Echo gains a superpower in the standalone show Echo, wherein she discovers a spiritual weapon which has connections to her Native American roots. Echo's story arc sees her leaving the underworld of New York City to explore her origins in Oklahoma. Vincent D'Onofrio reprises his role as Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, one of the deadliest crime lords in the MCU. He is also Echo's adoptive uncle. Also expect Charlie Cox as Daredevil in the spin-off series, paving the way for his own upcoming show, Daredevil Born Again. All episodes of Echo releases on Disney Plus on November 29th this year, making it perfect for binge watching. X-Men 97, 2023-2024. Now brace yourself to meet the X-Men in the upcoming animated series X-Men 97, expected to release sometime later this year or in 2024. X-Men 97 picks up after the original show X-Men the Animated Series, which successfully ran between the years 1992 to 97. The narrative is set some months after Professor X bids adieu to Earth after being attacked by cutthroat government official Henry Gyrich in his attempt to hunt down mutants. Erstwhile X-Men nemesis Magneto has a change of heart following the general sentiment of growing sympathy for the mutants. He steps in to fill Professor Xavier's shoes and takes up the role of the X-Men's leader. The core X-Men team, comprising of Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Rogue, Jubilee, Storm, Gambit, and Beast, returns to the animated show with the addition of Morph and Bishop. The footage streamed at San Diego Comic-Con 2023 revealed that Jean Grey is now pregnant. Of the many fan theories, one suggests that X-Men villain Madeline Pryor, aka Goblin Queen, from the comic books, will have her maiden screen appearance on the show. However, it's just a prediction at this point. For those who didn't know, Cyclops was once married to Madeline, who is the menacing duplicate of his one true love, Jean Grey. Mr. Sinister, the manipulative creator of Goblin Queen, returns as the main antagonist. The villainous crew is also expected to include members of the Hellfire Club and the Sentinels. Looks like the wait for X-Men 97 is going to be a hard one for fans. Madam Web, February 14, 2024. Valentine's Day 2024 gets a lot more exciting with the arrival of Madam Web, yet another spin-off movie from the Spider-Verse. Dakota Johnson plays the titular clairvoyant with psychic powers who can see into the Spider-World. Joining Dakota's Cassandra Webb is her gal pal, Sydney Sweeney as Julia Carpenter / Spider-Woman. Isabella Merced joins the cast as Anya Corazon, who is a high school student, comes from a long line of fighters, and can manifest shielding armor powered with extraordinary strength. As for IMDb, Adam Scott and Emma Roberts star as Ben Parker and Mary Parker, respectively. Other cast members with undisclosed roles include Tahar Rahim, Celeste O'Connor, Zasha Mamet, and Mike Epps. Dakota Johnson's Madam Web comes with modifications to the original Cassandra Webb. In the comics, she's an old lady battling an autoimmune disorder who remains attached to a life support system resembling a spiderweb. Meanwhile, the scarcely available set pictures show Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney, Isabella Merced, and Celeste O'Connor running around in NYC in Gossip Girl-like outfits. Fans are speculating that given she can see into the future, there's the possibility of Venom and Morbius crossovers in the film. Dakota Johnson describes Madam Web as a wild experience, and we are here for it.
EA is trying to recruit us, Logan.
Deadpool 3, May 3, 2024. Chimichangas. The excitement doubled for fans when Ryan Reynolds welcomed Hugh Jackman, aka X-Men stalwart Wolverine, into the Deadpool franchise. A first look from the film's shoot showed Wolverine in a bright yellow suit walking alongside the comic mercenary of a superhero. To all the excited fans, let this be known that the announced release date of Deadpool 3 remains May 3, 2024 so far, which, however, can be affected by the ongoing writer's strike in Hollywood. Brianna Hildebrand joins the cast as Negasonic Teenage Warhead, a young mutant who can generate atomic blasts. The new cast also includes Matthew McFadden, who details of his role are still under wraps. Jennifer Garner makes an appearance as Elektra, a Greek assassin fighting with her signature pair of stabbing weapons. Returning to the cast are actors Rob Delaney, Marina Baccarin, Karen Sony, Stefan Kapicic, and Leslie Uggams. Surprisingly, Marvel has roped in the crowned actress Emma Corrin to play the big mean baddie in Deadpool 3. However, not much is known about which villain exactly is portrayed by Emma, who is a self-confessed not a Marvel person. While Marvel has been tight-lipped about the antagonists, Deadpool and Wolverine fight off in the movie, fan theories are galore. The Scarlet Witch is a potential prediction following the events of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, while Judge Renslayer from the series Loki and Ultron are also potential candidates. Some fans are also theorizing that with the inclusion of X-Men in Deadpool 3, Magneto may appear as the villain. Surely this is something worth waiting for.
I'm not afraid of you, Spider-Man. We are Venom.
Venom 3, July 12, 2024. Good news comes in the form of Venom 3's early release. July 12, 2024 is a deviation from the franchise's traditional October release, but fans are thrilled. Kelly Marcel dons the director's hat for Venom 3, who previously wrote Venom and Let There Be Carnage. As is tradition, Venom's returning star Tom Hardy is chipped into the story with his inputs. Tom Hardy is Eddie Brock, and Juno Temple in an undisclosed role aside, Venom's cast is strictly under wraps. The inclusion of Chiwetel Ejiofor is an interesting one, as we already know him as Carl Mordo from the Doctor Strange movies. Michelle Williams can also make a comeback as Eddie's ex-fiancée, who briefly hosted Venom as She-Venom. Toxin is a possible villain Venom might face off in the movie if Stephen Graham reprises his role as Detective Patrick Mulligan. Remember how the symbiote Toxin found its way to the detective at the finale of Venom Let There Be Carnage? Venom can also possibly attempt to hunt down Spider-Man, as he wants to in the post-credit scene of Spider-Man No Way Home. That's also when Venom hilariously learns about the Avengers for the first time.
But our principles remain the same. I am the Captain America.
Captain America Brave New World, July 26, 2024. Captain America Brave New World surely takes the credit for one of the most anticipated Phase 5 Marvel movies, releasing on July 26 next year. Anthony Mackie, who plays Sam Wilson, has Chris Evans-sized shoes to fill since he became the new Captain America in the show The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Steve Rogers, played by Chris Evans, retired from the Captain America title in Avengers Endgame, handing over his shield to Sam Wilson. Captain America Brave New World marks Sam Wilson's theatrical debut as the Cap. Harrison Ford joins the cast as Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, who put Sam Wilson behind bars in Civil War. Their history hints at probable clashes between the two in the movie. Danny Ramirez returns as Joaquin Torres and Carl Lumbly as Isaiah Bradley from The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Other cast members include Shira Haas as Sabra, Marvel's first superheroine of Israeli origin. Not much is known about Sasha Roquemore and Seth Rollins' roles in the film, while Liv Tyler stars as Betty Ross, the daughter of Thunderbolt Ross, as was seen in 2008's The Incredible Hulk. Captain America Brave New World was at the epicenter of a controversy when it was initially titled Captain America New World Order. Fans pointed out that a Captain America movie in no way can sound like a real-life conspiracy theory, which is widely criticized as anti-Semitic. All said and done, director Julius Ona referred to the film as a paranoid thriller, and we surely can't keep calm.
I stared death in the
Kraven the Hunter, August 30, 2024. Next up is Kraven the Hunter, which was initially slated to release this year but has been postponed to August 30th of 2024 due to the ongoing Hollywood strikes. Played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, Kraven, or Sergei Kravenov, is a superhuman hunter and a powerful villain from the Spider-Man comics. For years, the Spider-Verse villain was considered for appearances in various Spidey movies, which eventually culminated into a standalone film for himself. What sets Kraven apart from other MCU villains is his animal-like agility, heightened sense of smell, sight and hearing, and extraordinary hunting skills. In the comics, Kraven remains preoccupied with hunting down the web-slinging superhero, but in the upcoming movie, Kraven is pitched with fellow villains from the world of Spider-Man. Kraven's list of enemies includes his estranged half-brother, the Chameleon, played by Fred Hatchinger, who earns the name from his ability to impersonate anyone and everyone. Another villain that Kraven confronts is the ruthless trained assassin named Foreigner, portrayed by Christopher Abbott. The humanoid Rhino with Herculean prowess, played by Alessandro Nivola, is another antagonist that Kraven battles in the movies. Ariana DeBose joins the cast as Kraven's love interest, voodoo enchantress Calypso, who wields great influence over the hunter. Russell Crowe is also in the film as Kraven's estranged father, Nikolai Kravenov, and the two do not see eye to eye. Will Kraven the Hunter prove itself worthy of all the hype? Only time will tell.
Infinity Stones. How do we put a suit of armor around the world?
What If Season 2, expected 2024. It has been a long await for the second season of Marvel's multiversal animated series What If, and looks like the wait is going to be even longer. What If Season 2 was initially expected to release this year, but now appears to have been shifted to 2024. For those who missed, Disney Plus updated their official What If Season 2 page from early 2023 to coming soon. Jeffrey Wright returns as the Watcher, who also doubles up as the narrator and the safekeeper of the multiverse. The animated animated series, which concluded in 2021, delves into how crucial events from MCU films play out in alternate realities. The events of What If Season 2 unfurl after several Marvel biggies take up the roles of the Guardians of the Multiverse. The voice cast includes Cate Blanchett, Rachel Weisz, Haley Atwell, Jeff Goldblum, Josh Keaton, Cynthia McWilliams, Lake Bell, Elizabeth Olsen, Taika Waititi, and Mick Wingert. The list of superheroes and baddies is, however, endless. Steve Rogers, Iron Man, Black Widow, Gamora, Peter Parker, Bucky Barnes, Peggy Carter, Peter Quill, Ant-Man, Melina Vostokov, Valkyrie, Ying Li, Odin, The Great Protector, Shang-Chi, Yondu, Red Garden, Korg, Grandmaster, Ego, Weewu, Scarlet Witch, Hela, Thanos, and of course, The Watcher. Phew! Expect to see them all. Fans can look forward to Shang-Chi battling Odin, the return of Hela wreaking havoc, revisiting the Infinity War, and developments in the Tony Stark-Gamora equation. Iron Man teased a glimpse of his new suit in the Season 1 finale, which fans are predicting to be armor he made out of Sakarian scrap. Meanwhile, expect to see Gamora donning Thanos' Infinity War armor. Wait, what? The new season, comprising 9 episodes, also introduces new superhero Kahori, a young Mohawk woman who explores her powers after the Tesseract lands on Earth in an alternate universe and converts the lake into a space portal. Excited? We surely are.
You will suffer, and you will die.
Daredevil Born Again, Spring 2024. Daredevil will be born again in the spring of 2024 as promised by Marvel. The masked vigilante by night and an NYC attorney by day returns with a new series. As is tradition, Daredevil is pitched against the Kingpin in his attempt to keep Hell's Kitchen crime-free. But fans are hoping that Daredevil is challenged with more villains such as the Bullseye, the Hand, Typhoid Mary, and the Owl. The list is quite a deadly one. One of the most anticipated fan theories is the inclusion of Daredevil classic villain Muse, who creates art with his victim's blood to communicate with the superhero. John Bernthal's Punisher is expected to join Daredevil Born Again as an anti-hero who delivers justice in his own twisted ways. However, there has been some concern over whether Daredevil Born Again will match up to the popularity of Netflix's Daredevil. A crew member who was a part of the Netflix series claims that MCU has retained only the original actors from the Netflix show and no one else from the remaining crew. Will the renewed Matt Murdock live up to his past glory? The verdict will be out next year. Agatha, Coven of Chaos, sometime in 2024. Step into the world of witchcraft with Agatha, Coven of Chaos, Marvel's new unique series. It is expected to release on Disney Plus next year, presumably during the window between Ironheart and Daredevil Born Again. Initially titled Agatha, House of Harkness, the show was renamed as Agatha, Coven of Chaos and centers around the titular witch. Catherine Hahn portrays the eponymous role, which was first introduced in WandaVision. Remember Wanda and Vision's inquisitive neighbor Agnes? Emma Caulfield and Deborah Jo Rupp also take on their WandaVision roles as New Jersey locals in the show. Elizabeth Olsen has hinted at her appearance on the show as Wanda Maximoff, but there's not been an official confirmation. New cast members include Aubrey Plaza, who will most likely play a witch, Joe Locke, who may star as the grown-up version of Wanda's son, Wiccan, and Patti LuPone, who features as a 450-year-old witch. Other cast members include Ali Ahn, Miles Gutierrez-Riley, Okwi Opokwasili, Sashir Zamata, and Maria Dizia. Agatha has an interesting story arc in the comics. She's a centuries-old witch who has been a mentor to Wanda Maximoff. However, the WandaVision Agatha introduced herself as Agnes, only to be revealed as a villainous witch, envious of Wanda's powers. As bonus, expect musical numbers in the 9-episode Marvel series.
I got you, sis. Hold on.
Ironheart, sometime in 2024. Brace yourself for a Riri Williams comeback with the upcoming series Ironheart. Tech prodigy and MIT student Riri Williams, aka Ironheart, made her MCU debut in Black Panther Wakanda Forever when one of her creations grabbed the attention of antagonist Namor. Dominic Thorne returns to play the eponymous character in Ironheart, who is best known for building a suit of armor inspired by her hero Tony Stark. Ironheart explores Riri Williams' character development from a techie going on about her life to confronting the challenges of her prodigal creations. The 6-episode series wrapped filming in 2022, but the release timeline still appears to be no sooner than 2024. In the series, Anthony Ramos plays the supervillain Parker Robbins, aka the Hood, who possesses powers stolen from a demon. That's not the only villain Ironheart may be pitched against on the show. Speculations are rife that Sacha Baron Cohen may join the show as Mephisto, an arch-enemy of Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. The cast of Ironheart boasts names such as Alden Ehrenreich, Angie White, Zoe Terakis, Shakira Barrera, Cree Summer, Reagan Aaliyah, Manny Montana, Paul Calderon, and Shia Coley. No wonder Ironheart has got fans excited already. Spider-Man Freshman Year Late 2024. Next up, we have an animated Spider-Man series which tracks Peter Parker's transformation from being a freshman to the friendly neighborhood web-slinging superhero. MCU promises that the new Spidey series is all set to make fans nostalgic about the early comic books, hence it should come as no surprise that Norman Osborn, whose evil alter ego is the Spider-Man nemesis Green Goblin, takes up the role of Peter Parker's mentor in the upcoming series. A still from the show also reveals Spider-Man wearing a homemade suit, clearly suggesting that this version of Peter Parker is far from home from the sassier, cooler version mentored by Tony Stark. What adds to the excitement is the presence of multiple villains ranging from Dr. Octopus, Chameleon, and Speed Demon to Scorpion, Rhino, and Tarantula. Doctor Strange also makes an appearance, and so does Daredevil, for which Charlie Cox has joined the voice cast. Spider-Man Freshman Year is going to be a product of Japanese animation studio Polygon Pictures, which has previously worked on projects such as Transformers Prime, Star Wars The Clone Wars, and Tron Uprising. The speculated storyline of Spider-Man Freshman Year suggests that it's an alternate universe. Peter Parker meets Norman Osborn just like he met Tony Stark in Captain America Civil War and sets off on a roller coaster ride of adventures. Spider-Man Freshman Year is expected to release on Disney Plus in late 2024. El Muerto, supposed to be released in 2024 but is postponed. Wait, Marvel is not done with Spider-Verse movies just yet. The much talked about El Muerto is also in the pipeline, or rather, we're hoping it is. El Muerto was supposed to be released in January 2024, but Sony reshuffled its calendar, stripping the movie off a release date. Since there's been no official confirmation that the film is shelved, fans are hoping that El Muerto sees the light of day even with a postponed release date. Rapper turned actor Bad Bunny was roped in for the role of the masked wrestler, but rumor mills have it that the Puerto Rican star has exited the project because of his busy schedule. Juan Carlos Estrada Sanchez, or El Muerto, is an interesting character to explore. He's known as a Spider-Man villain who attempts to unmask the web slinger during a charity wrestling match. Nevertheless, Spidey extends the friendly web to El Muerto and helps him defeat El Dorado, the self-declared god of wrestling. El Muerto's superhuman powers have roots in his Mexican origin. His wrestling mask bestowed upon his family by El Dorado is passed down through generations and is the source of his extraordinary endurance in the wrestling ring. He fights El Dorado to seek revenge for his father's death. Jonas Cuarón, son of Alfonso Cuarón, director of Chupa and co-writer of Gravity, directs the project.
Trust them?
As far as I know, you were too, Sergeant Barnes.
Thunderbolts, December 20th, 2024. Thunderbolts on a snowy Christmas is quite the anomaly, but expect the unexpected as Marvel's Thunderbolts arrives on December 20th, 2024. Captained by Bucky Barnes, Thunderbolts brings together some of Marvel's wackiest wrongdoers. A concept poster shows an array of Marvel's notorious anti-heroes comprising Team Thunderbolts. Olga Kurylenko is the Taskmaster, while Hannah John Kamen plays Ghost, with Wyatt Russell portraying U.S. Agent. David Harbour is Red Garden, Florence Pugh is Yelena Belova, and Sebastian Stan reprises his role as the Winter Soldier. This dangerously fascinating bunch embark on a government mission, kind of like DC's Suicide Squad, but their main aim is to exhibit that Rogues 2 can be rectified. In the comics, Thunderbolt's origin is credited to Captain America's nemesis Helmut Zemo, but nothing so far suggests the character's return in the movie. Fans, hopeful to see Daniel Bruhl return as Zemo, speculate that since Zemo is not part of the Thunderbolts team, he could probably be the main villain in the movie. Motive: he is irked by the Thunderbolts cleaning up the society. Also expect to see Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross, who by then would have appeared in Captain America Brave New World. Meanwhile, how do you think Thunderbolts will explain Bucky Barnes' new arm in the movie? Iron Man ravaged Bucky's bionic arm in Captain America Civil War, following which he received a vibranium prosthetic arm from former Black Panther King T'Challa. However, in the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Nebula gifts Rocket Bucky's arm. Does Wakanda gift a new arm to Bucky, or the government makes him one? Hopefully the Thunderbolts will tell. Blade, February 14, 2025. Marvel's Blade reboot is one of the first Phase 5 movies announced way back in 2019, but it also remains one of the most delayed. Blade finds a place in this video because before zeroing in on February 14, 2025 as the release date, it was supposed to arrive first in 2023 and then in 2024. Mahershala Ali brings to life the renewed day-walking vampire-slaying hero in the movie. Did you know it was, in fact, he who suggested the brand new genre of Blade to the Marvel bosses? The original Blade trilogy starring Wesley Snipes propelled a Marvel hero to the pinnacle of popularity at a time when the Marvel Cinematic Universe seemed like a distant dream. Since Blade releases as part of Phase 5, it can very well be set after the events of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Being half vampire and half human, Blade is sworn to hunt down the creatures of the night after his mother was killed by one. In the movie, Blade can possibly face off his nemesis, the Dracula, or even vampire Deacon Frost, who wants to take over humans. But all this is just wishful thinking at this point. Filmmaker Bassam Tariq was first roped in to helm the movie, but the responsibility now lies within Yann Demange. Mahershala Ali is joined by the likes of Delroy Lindo, Aaron Pierre, and Mia Goth in the movie, but details about the roles are undisclosed. It remains to see whether Blade comes with an R rating or not, because what's a vampire movie without major bloodshed and gore? Fantastic Four, May 2, 2025. The Fantastic Four, slated for May 2, 2025, kickstarts Marvel's Phase 6, making it one of the most anticipated movies in Marvel's next phase. Fans are expecting a lot from director Matt Shakman, who helmed Disney Plus's WandaVision and stepped in to take over from the initial director of Fantastic Four, John Watts. However, very little is known about Marvel's new first family, comprising of a bizarre mix of heroes: Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and The Thing, thus prompting a bunch of casting rumors. John Krasinski did appear as a version of Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but that was on Earth number 838, so we're not sure about him reprising the role. Seth Rogen is also a fan favorite for the role of the rock-skinned Thing, but the actor-comedian responded in the negative. Another name that's come up for the role of Reed Richards or Mr. Fantastic is of Adam Driver. Casting rumors also dragged in actors such as Ryan Gosling, Saoirse Ronan, Jodie Comer, and Diego Luna. It's a relief that 2025's Fantastic Four will not yet be another origin story, but will lay out an entirely new story arc instead. While some viewers may be disheartened that Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse has been taken off the 2024 roster and postponed indefinitely, there still are plenty of upcoming projects to be thrilled about, so Marvel fans, bring out the popcorn tubs and get into your comfy pajamas. We're stepping into a brave new world of content from the MCU. We have already picked out our favorites from the list. Have you? Share with us in the comments below. And if you like this video, don't forget to give us a shout out and stay tuned for more marvelous content.